Welcome to the Bernheim Gallery at the Louisville Free Public Library. I invite you on a journey with me for a few minutes down the Ohio River as we explore the exhibit River of Life, Cities and Towns Along the Mighty Ohio, presented in partnership with our U of L Honors Seminar, Louisville Free Public Library, Afloat, an Ohio River Way of Life, Ohio River Recreation Trail, the National Park Service's Rivers, Trails, and Conservation Assistance Program, and the Ohio River Basin Alliance. For all its glory, modern people still take the Ohio River for granted. Its place in American history often ignored, its value in our lives and recreation industries impossible to calculate. Taken as a whole, the Ohio River is 961 miles long, with a drainage basin of 204,000 square miles that borders 6 states: Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia, with tributaries that drain from parts of New York, Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Alabama. The current location of the Ohio River resulted from the last ice age. Native Americans lived along the Ohio River for about 15,000 years. Then the British and the French claimed rights to the land, that resulting in extensive conflicts. In 1749, the Ohio Company was chartered with settlements, and then the Revolutionary War followed. The river became a border during the Civil War later on, serving as a water line between the free and slave states. By 1860, Louisville had become the largest city along the Ohio River for slave trafficking, as well as a center for the Underground Railroad, moving slaves to freedom across the river to Indiana. Today, the Ohio River is home to 21 locks and dams, down from 51 wooden wicket dams and locks. The river's only natural barrier is the Falls of the Ohio. Today, more than 25 million people live in the Ohio River Basin. While some argument remains over who was the first European to explore the Ohio River, with the Native Americans being thousands of years ahead of either French explorer René Robert Cavelier or Dutch explorer and interpreter Arnaud Viel, the one certainty is the Ohio River Recreational Trail has made the modern trip a whole lot easier and more entertaining. The trail and accompanying digital guide encompasses hundreds of points of interest, amenities, and historical sites along 274 miles of the Ohio River from Portsmouth, Ohio to West Point, Kentucky. It lists river access points, campgrounds, marinas, river crossings, restaurants, and stores. It's all about connecting you with your roots to the Ohio River, a personal voyage of discovery. The exhibit features modern photos of towns and cities along the trail by photographers Joe Wallach and John Nation, as well as aquatic wildlife photos by Pam Spaulding. In addition, there are more than 50 historic photos of life along the Ohio taken by historian and author Reuben Gold Thwaites. In 1894, Thwaites, along with his wife, 10-year-old son, and brother-in-law, traveled down the Monongahela River in the full length of the Ohio River from Pittsburgh to Cairo, Illinois, in a 15-foot rowboat named Pilgrim. The trip took 6 weeks, and Thwaites documented the trip through photos with his number 2 Kodak camera, and wrote about it for the Wisconsin State Journal. Through these photos, you can follow along with the Thwaites as their rowboat floats south with the Ohio. His wife Jessie rowing on the Monongahela, an Indian Mound in West Virginia, children at a quiff dwelling in Ohio, a general store in Rabbit Hash, Kentucky, still around today, the Louisville Wharf, and beyond. The University of Louisville's Honors 2020 Seminar on the Ohio River was one of the driving forces behind the creation of this exhibit. As a participant in that class, our goal with this project was to advocate for the future of our communities and the environment on the Ohio. The seminar used an interdisciplinary approach to understand how recreation and conservation can support river towns along the Ohio. Through working with the National Park Service's Rivertown Review Program, hearing from community stakeholders, and experiencing these places ourselves, often by paddling, we investigated the oft-overlooked potential of the Ohio and its communities. In addition to learning about the Ohio today, the seminar focused on how the river has sustained generations of people before us. Using this historical context, our advocacy builds on the lifetimes of work by numerous individuals and organizations that have cared and do care for the river. As a citizen of the Ohio River Basin, you're a part of that story too. It's up to each of us to help build a better future for our river and our communities. This part of the exhibit shares some of our research. The photos and videos are snapshots of our time in New Albany, Clarksville, and Jeffersonville, Indiana. Thank you for joining us on our virtual tour of River of Life, cities and towns along the mighty Ohio. And I hope you're able to experience adventures of your own in river towns like these.